Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to today's Esoteric Influences for the 7th day of July 2020. Well, I wanted to talk a couple different ways about the numerology today. Given that we have a seven month and it's a 7 day, then we're going to talk about that in this 22 year, but we'll do that afterwards. I hope everybody's doing well today. I think that we're going to get our hay cut. So we don't have to do irrigation this week or till the hay's cut. I guess they're either going to do it this weekend or maybe first part of next week. So yay. We haven't had our hay cut in a long, long time. And it's really good to do that. They'll take half and we'll keep half and then we can use them for our chickens. But because we don't have any other livestock, but well, we have bees, but they don't need hay. And so anyway, we're just excited about it. We can't believe it's actually happening. It's just, we haven't had this done in so long. It's just been nutty. Nobody wants to do small pastures, but sometimes you'll find somebody that's all they do are small pastures because nobody does them. And so, they end up getting quite a bit of hay for their animals this way. I guess they have, the folks that are going to do ours have donkeys or something. So the guy was on his run and he was running by and he says, I've been paying attention to your field. Do you have anybody that cuts it for you? It doesn't seem like you do. My husband's like, what? You want to cut my field? It's like, okay. Yay. Anyway, today's 7 numerology suggests finding balance and taking an observer role, particularly if the Mars energy becomes problematic today. I didn't really note any other aspects that were there, but I will say this: I could just do a look here on my. I have the same astrology program on in a smaller version. Let's see. Let's do current transits here. Let's look at the moon. I don't think there really was anything. Well, there's in conjunct the sun. We might feel out of sorts. That's always true. But yeah, there really wasn't anything that I noticed when I did these. On the weekend for the esoteric influences. So yeah, there's nothing really that you got to really worry about that way, other than the fact it's a Tuesday and Tuesday is Mars energy and it can get out of whack. And so with the inconjunct between the sun and the moon, it might be reflecting that. So I don't know. Let me get a drink here. Our pollen count is so high right now. I don't know if the cottonwood actually shed a second time, maybe a little bit. It didn't do the full one or anything like it did that year before. Oh my gosh, the last time it did that, it was like 2 full sheddings. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why. I don't know if because it didn't look like it was different trees. We have a lot of them and they're at different ages, but I don't think it was that. It should have all dumped at one time and it didn't. And it's kind of floaty right now, a little bit, not much, but a little bit. But that and the other grasses, and I guess cedar, I don't have any cedar right here, but it is in the area, not because people planted it. It doesn't grow naturally right here at our level because it's high desert. So we don't have that, but the juniper's still pumping out. And I mean, you have other grasses and other things that are happening, but it's just one big, thing. And you'd think that the wind that we've been having would blow it all away. Well, no, it just swirls it all around you. So it just makes sure it gets in you, basically, I think, anyway. But about today's 7/7/22 energy, okay? You really do want to observe the effects of what you manifest, no matter what it is. And maybe it even takes the form of reconsidering your perceptions, okay? We have a chance right now for soul level change with the 22. It's the cosmic builder. So that's profound soul level change. I mean, you could argue that all the disruption that's been going on, either in our personal lives or at the very least collectively, is a reflection of that 22 energy manifesting, shaking things up, so that we finally comprehend when we're being harmed, and that harming people is not okay. It's just not. And in this country, we have allowed policing to get out of whack. And so clearly we think that harming some people must be okay because nobody did anything. Well, now they are, because maybe we've decided finally this year that, yeah, harming people isn't okay. When we're starting to find out that the payroll protection money It went to donors and the billionaire class, friends of the guy in office, or at least people who want something from him. Even Kanye apparently reportedly got it. Yeah, yeah. So it's like all the small businesses that needed it and aren't surviving because they didn't get it. It's because it went to those people. This is why they refused to tell Congress where the money went. Guess what? They can't do that, but they're doing it. See, that's what the balance of power, that's why the balance of power is so important, so that you can stop people from doing the things that they're doing behind the scenes. And that's the other aspect of this. We have a lot of deception right now. And use that dual 7 energy, that standing back and observing, letting things settle out type of experience. Let that help you understand the greater picture of what's going on. Understand the grift that's being done in this country, all while we're just trying to survive a pandemic that they're doing nothing to help us with. In fact, they're doing everything to the opposite. So what? They can, as they kill us all off, they can take. Is that it? I mean, is it that simple? Maybe. I don't know. But pay attention. There's deception at work. It's been at work for a long time now, and we need to understand the truth of that. So use this energy today to try to find that awareness. The rune should help. It's an as above, so below rune. It's Laguz, up and down, basically, either way you look at it. But it's the light of spirit focusing into form and informing that entire process. So as you manifest today, allow that to help you. It'll also help you understand the bigger picture. It will also help bring clarity to deceptive forces that are out there, to understanding what they are and what they're up to and what they're doing and what we have to do to stop it, right? Assuming we can. But the meaning is air and fire. It's the elements involved, connection between opposites, the as above, so below rune, one of them, but a very big one. The link between realms, trance work and protection. That's the meaning of it. But trance work may prove helpful today as we go within and align in spirit. Offer healing from a trance or meditative state to all. If you're not accustomed, if you view meditation or trance work as simply something you're doing for yourself, you're missing part of what you could be doing within it. It's not that that's not an acceptable thing to use it for. We all do. There's nothing wrong with going in and aligning in your still point and meditating and finding your balance again. But from that state, you can offer blessings of healing. Witches do it all the time. It's influence magic. It's what it's called. You do it from an aligned state. You go into source presence, your own soul's energy, your own soul awareness, and you offer healing and protection for people. You offer a rise in frequency to them, to choose to see who you are as spirit and let your frequency then naturally rise to that. It's about knowing who you are and understanding the greater unity of all of us that we all share when we're in non-physical. And all you're doing in that state, when you're offering healing in that state, or you're offering a suggestion of, hey, you might want to see this differently. You might think about this differently. It seems like your perceptions are based on pain and not upon love and unity with others. So you encourage people to find that unity again, to raise their frequency, to become the spirit, remember who they are, become the spirit that they actually are, align with that truth. You can do that from that. It's quite effective. But, you can't, here's the thing, if you want to use it for something nefarious, you're going to be stopped in your tracks. Spirit's not going to allow that. So you don't have to worry about that. Whatever you think you're doing, you won't do at all. But if you do something from an aligned state, I did a book called Magic and the Aligned Witch. And it's over there on Amazon, but it's not, I didn't publish it other places. That's back when I was just publishing on Amazon only. And I did, that's one of the first books well, it wasn't the first, but it was maybe the fourth book maybe I wrote. I don't know. I think it was the fourth. But I guess the point is that if you're going to work magic from that state, you're in a state of bliss. You're in a state of pure soul bliss. You couldn't do anything there nefarious if you tried. That's what I'm saying. And if somehow you convinced yourself that's what you were doing, it's not going to go anywhere. Not when you're in that realm. And all you're doing is reminding people, hey, guess what? Remember, you're of that realm. Sometimes that's all it takes. And people suddenly rethink things and they turn from such a negative path, and suddenly they're trying to find common ground with people. It's amazing how that works. But again, it's the purity of the experience that drives it all. It's just like, hey, come home. It's better here, really, right? So you can do that in that. In fact, you could draw this on a piece of paper or have it on a rune or whatever you want to do with it and use it as a focus in a meditation like that. So anyhow, the moon's in Aquarius today. It may be time to explore new career opportunities that can provide both intellectual and emotional fulfillment. Here's the thing. If you're in Aquarius, if that's your natal sign, you know what I'm talking about. You have to feel fulfilled in a job. If you're not, then you're going to be completely frustrated the whole way. And it's not going to be fun for you. So you already know what that means. An inconjunct or quincunx between the moon and the sun suggests challenges in that regard. And so you might need to actually reassess your manner of expression. You know, if this is something where you're acting out because you're unhappy, well, go be happy. And that might take a career change. And right now, with everything in flux, this could be the perfect time to do that, especially if you've been at home and you've been, honing your skills by doing some online training or whatnot. You might have been actually preparing yourself for this transition. And so this gives you the time to maybe say, okay, maybe I will look at something else, On the human design section of this, down at the bottom, if you're following along, work behind the scenes to find clarification and search for the underlying cause or message of anything today. Avoid frustration if it seems you're getting nowhere, because opposing forces could be at work here, and they likely are. Remain positive and away from others who wish to thwart your progress. Now, again, that could be anything under the sun. It could be applying to anything in your personal life. It could be applying to the collective need to wear masks now, and always have been. Masks, gloves, the whole thing. I watched an Earth Files thing. My husband and I did. Linda Moulton Howe did it, and if you haven't seen that one, it was on yesterday, and it was posted anyway. There yesterday. I don't know if that's when she posted it, but I think it was a live thing that then she posted afterwards or something. But because there were already comments when we saw it, so it couldn't have been live. It kind of indicated it was, but I don't think so. I think that was just part of the recording. But anyway, she's talking about it too, how we're having to cope with all of this and what we need to be doing. And the problem is the only thing we can do to stop this is to wear a mask and gloves and to socially distance. Stay away from each other. Give each other some space. And wear protective covering. She's echoing the same thing I've been echoing. It's just that if we don't follow the science here, if we just decide to, say, oh, it's not real, well, we're going to end up putting ourselves in some challenging experiences going forward. And we may do the same to others, because the asymptomatic quality of this is you could breeze right through it, think it's an allergy, never realize what it is. Whereas your next door neighbor who's, my age, you go and say hi to her without anything. She doesn't have anything. She doesn't know you're coming to the fence or whatever. And she's maybe close by, and you're shedding virus on her. You get her sick and she dies. That's where we're at right now. So people can be in denial all they want to be, but it's stupid. I mean, it just is. Okay, knock it off. Grow up. I don't know. What phrase do you need to hear? What phrase is going to get you to stop and realize you're on the wrong path? Is it an insult? Is it pleading? Is it crying? What do we all need to do, in other words, to convince people of the reality of this? Now, we can argue about what it is or who did it or if it's natural or what the heck this is. Because I read an article where some scientists are suggesting, hey, wait a minute. In retrospect, we've actually seen this before this occurring naturally in the environment. They test whatever and they see it. They're finding it in sewage. And this was before. You see, they didn't know the connection until now. And so they're starting to kind of go, hey, wait a minute. I think we've seen this before. So if that's true, is it environmental? We reached a certain place environmentally, climate-wise, whatever, where it's being released? We don't, in other words, we don't know. But they're finding different things, and they're trying to create a picture so that we understand, in fact, what's really happening here. So you're seeing things change almost weekly in terms of the science because more information is discovered. So we think we're going in this direction. It's like, uh-oh, now this has been introduced. Is it an anomaly or is it real? Is it just an outlier or do we need to consider this? So everything stops and they're watching and they're going, okay, what's this going to do? Well, this thing is mutating. And whereas they're saying now, well, it's not necessarily any worse than what it is, it's just more transmissible. So if that's true, I mean, what do you need to hear from them? Haven't we heard all we need to? I mean, I go nowhere without a mask, nowhere without gloves. And because you can't buy gloves now, I wash ours when we get them home. We try to use them more than once. So, I mean, my husband's almost out. We're washing them now. At some point, he's just going to wear garden gloves when he goes, just to have something on his hands. Or rubber gloves you can get for dishwashing, anything to keep your hands off the surfaces where it drops from people who are asymptomatic and are shedding it everywhere. Again, what do you need to hear? What truth do you need to hear to get you to understand the seriousness of it? If you're one of those folks that doesn't get it yet. This is not a personal sovereignty issue. This is a life and death issue, no matter what you think. It is not a hoax. It never was. And our government promoting that, the federal government promoting that lie, it's killed people. The lies killed people. But you think they're going to be responsible? Oh no, you go to a rally now, you got to sign away your life and not sue him if he gets sick. And then they zip tie the chairs together to make sure it happens. What is going on? If you can't look on this and want to take a step back, today you've got the energy to do it. The 7 and the 7, you've got it to do it. Take a step back and think about what you're seeing. Step out of your normal perception surrounding this guy and just look at it objectively. And if you're not scared out of your mind, you should be. Then there's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong. You must pay attention now. You must understand what's at stake. You got the state of Florida wanting to open schools in August. Because for some reason, they all still think, even though 7,000 kids are sick and have come down with this in Florida, oh, it doesn't hurt kids. It doesn't touch kids. It's fine. They can go back to school. I see parents taking their kids. They got masks on, but not the kids. What are we doing? And whose agenda are we serving by doing that? You need to ask yourself that, because that's in play right now. Whose agenda are we serving by not protecting ourselves? What is it that they want? Reduction in population, is that it? What is this? What are they doing? Because I'm less worried about the virus itself than I am about what the government's response has been and why. Why are you doing that? Why are you lying to people? Why aren't you telling us what we need to know? Why are you interfering with PPE supplies getting to hospitals? Why did you do that? Why are you telling people it's a hoax? Why are you telling people they don't have to wear anything? Why aren't you modeling the behavior that we all need to see? Now I look at it, and that's the things I think. But see, I already know that there's something going on here with these people. So the fact that others don't and haven't figured it out yet, well, figure it out. Use today to do it. There's just no time left. Okay? We need to figure this out. We're still in phase 1 of this. We've never gotten out of it. Not had enough cooperation with people to get out of it. And now I've read that then, I hope this isn't true, but I believe that it is. We'll see. Now cadets are showing COVID. They've got it. Because he made him come back. They didn't ask him to come and talk. They didn't ask for any of it. They all had to come back. Yeah. The irresponsibility alone is breathtaking, isn't it? So anyway, that's it for today. Please use this 7/7/22 energy today to be aware of what you manifest and to be aware of what other people are manifesting. Take a step back, look at it with new eyes, change your perception, allow it to dissipate. Whatever it is you think, if you think what they're doing is fine, start thinking about it the opposite way, that it isn't. And all of a sudden, maybe something will click for you. One last thing. Ceres, in 5 days or so, roughly, I think it's the 12th. I'll look again and I'll tell you tomorrow. But Mercury's going to leave retrograde. You still have about a week where there's still stationing energies, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. So you can actually, the 3 weeks is actually 5, because you might start to feel some weird things the week before, and you might still have some transition energies during the week after, but largely it's contained within that 3-week time period. At the same time it leaves, though, Chiron goes retrograde, so we're going to be bearing our woundings, and we're going to be examining them and to see, and to transmute them into spirit and let them go and have them no longer, be bothering us all of the time. But right now, what will help us do that, Ceres is in retrograde. So perceptions will change surrounding feelings and expressions of unity or oneness with others right now. I think that unfortunately, it's going to be the worst that happens to get us, to shake us out of our illusion that we're in. Some of us are in. And I think that Chiron exposing all of it, I think Ceres and its issues of unification and understanding and oneness, I think that it basically in this 22 year is loosening everything up for a return to unity with one another. It's the fundamental nature and truth of our soul, that we're in unity and non-physical with one another. We don't have the issues we have here when we're not in the body. And all we're saying, and all it was ever supposed to be, is that we manifest spirit into form. Not that we find some container and we struggle the whole time while we're alive. No. We're supposed to be manifesting the soul on earth. Not destroying it or our remembrance of it. So that's not our natural state. Our natural state is in unity. And it should be what the natural state here is. So let's make that happen today. I'm going to go ahead and start the somewhat daily tarot and rune reading, and I'm going to start shuffling while I watch this one. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on it. And while it's uploading, I'll do the tarot reading and rune reading for today. And so stay tuned for that. Again, if you watch it here on the YouTube, then it'll be here. Otherwise, it'll be posted on the side panel over at Stepping Aside. The address is imsteppingaside.com. It'll be below the video, or if you're watching this on Instagram, it's in my bio. But otherwise, it's at imsteppingaside.com. Not I am, but I am, steppingaside.com. And check it out. I'm kind of proud of it. I've been doing it since 2012, and I've been writing it since then, so about 8 years, and a little over 8 years, or right about 8 years. And it's a witch and herbalism blog, so check it out if you're so inclined. And even if you're not, you might find something you find interesting. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, wear a mask if you go out, and blessed be.